It was Halloween night, 2023. Adrian, a young aspiring director, was working late in a small office near the Walk of Fame on Hollywood Boulevard. Even at 3 in the morning, the street was not entirely empty. Old neon signs flickered here and there, and scattered glitter and candy wrappers lay among the stars bearing the names of legends. Adrian was getting ready to go home when he noticed something strange. Above an old star, where the name of a little-known silent film actor was engraved, a *** pale, greenish light ** flickered. It was neither a street lamp nor a car light. It was a light that danced just a few centimeters above the ground, like a candle about to be blown out by the wind. "That must be some kind of tourist gimmick," Adrian muttered, grabbing his jacket.
But then he heard a faint sigh, a sound that belonged neither to the wind nor to the night city. He looked up. The windows of the old Grauman's Theater, towering across the street, were dark and empty, but he thought he saw a shadow in the upper window, one that seemed to wave at him before disappearing. The shadow was tall, in a long dress that resembled an outfit from the 1940s. Adrian decided that fatigue was getting to him. He stepped out onto the boulevard, but he had barely taken a few steps when the atmosphere changed. The air became heavy and cold, as if a winter breath had passed through it. Ahead, near the spot where Marilyn Monroe's famous star was located, stood 3 figures. They did not look like drunk partygoers. They were women in long, black, heavy cloaks that concealed their faces in shadow. They stood in a semicircle, and despite their stillness, they seemed to be whispering something very fast and very old. Adrian felt a chill run down his spine. They were too real to be ordinary costumes. One of the women, the tallest one, slowly raised her hand. Her finger was thin and crooked, and at its tip, a tiny, sparkling light shimmered, exactly like the one he had seen earlier above the star. "These lights, they are wandering souls," Adrian whispered, recalling an old legend his grandmother told him about witches gathering lost souls on Halloween night to strengthen their magic. The 3 figures turned their heads, and though their faces remained in the shadow of their hoods, Adrian felt their cold, ancient eyes staring right at him. Suddenly, music started playing from the windows of the old, closed cinema. It was a slow, unsettling melody played on a broken piano. The witchwomen vanished as abruptly as they had appeared. In their place, something else emerged: ghosts. Hollywood Boulevard seemed to have turned into a film set from the past. A procession of pale, translucent figures moved along the sidewalk. These were silent film stars, actors whose names were long forgotten but whose faces Adrian had seen on old posters. They were dressed in white grease paint and old-fashioned tailcoats, and they carried the shadows of others, those who never became famous. One spectral woman, in tears, collapsed directly onto one of the stars on the pavement. It was the very star above which the greenish light had flickered. Adrian understood. Hollywood Boulevard was not just a walk of fame, but a graveyard of forgotten dreams. On Halloween night, when the veil between worlds is thinnest, these ghosts of Hollywood oblivion return to their stars to recall their pain. He felt the translucent figures passing through him, leaving behind only an icy trace and the smell of old theatrical makeup. The last ghostly figure, an actor in a top hat, stopped, looked at Adrian, and slightly shook his head, as if warning him. Then, he dissolved into the air. The music and the phantoms faded. The street once again became just a wet, cold street, drenched in the light of flickering billboards. Adrian stood leaning against the wall. He looked at the star where the light had danced, and now there was nothing but the engraved name. But on his arm, where the tallest witch had pointed her finger, he saw a tiny red mark, like a burn from a hot coal. And in his jacket pocket lay one, very old, tarnished candy wrapper, which certainly hadn't been there before. It bore the logo of a confectionery factory that had gone bankrupt in the 1930s. Adrian did not run. He just walked away quickly, carrying in his pocket the proof that in Hollywood, beneath all the lights and fame, real magic, and perhaps real evil, was simply waiting for the darkest night to collect its dreadful due. Would you like me to create a similar mystical story about another famous city?